Hello, everybody. This is Young Drew from Eat Sleep Hoops. So today we're bringing you the picks 6 through 10 of the 2014 NBA Draft. I know we've had a couple of comments and some feedback and insight that other people were sharing in regards to their thoughts about the first 5 picks, and that's good. Keep asking questions, keep challenging stuff, and I'll make sure in the comments that people are leaving to reply back to those comments and tell you why I picked who I did and where I picked what I did. Why based on their roster, just in case, because I know I didn't get overly in depth in my video because I don't want to make it too long and drawn out. Pretty much just make my pick, explain it, keep it moving. So yes, so understand my premise in terms of how I'm picking different players in terms of what teams are drafting is primarily from a standpoint of looking at it as okay, well, what does a team need to perform right away? A lot of teams are starting to draft. I've noticed it in the NFL draft and even in the NBA draft last year. They're becoming a little bit more conscious about their picks from the standpoint of, getting value. Players that actually work within their system and not as much getting caught up in hype. Because as we've seen, there's been a lot of busts in those few years where it was primarily about them picking based on hype. So let's get into it. Just to refresh, first pick was Joel Embiid, center from Kansas. Milwaukee Bucks, Jabari Parker from Duke, as kind of a 2-3 kind of thing, or three anywhere from 2 or actually 3-4. So whether it's small forward or power forward with him, Andrew Wiggins, once again another Jayhawk. So 2 going in the first 3 picks, which is going to happen anyways, as either a 2 or a 3 for the Sixers. Orlando, going a little bit safer on this pick. I think they go with Julius Randle. Julius Randle from Kentucky, power forward. Utah, I think they go with Dante Exum from Australia as a point guard, not as a 2 guard. I've already explained that before, so definitely. Going into the 6th pick now, Boston Celtics, I think they select Marcus Smart, the point guard slash shooting guard from Oklahoma State. Now, as you notice, I said point guard slash shooting guard. Now, I said that because it's highly likely that the Celtics might make a trade. They've made trades over the last few years. They're not a team that's looking to slow rebuild. They're going to rebuild, but definitely not at a snail's pace. Depending on how they look at it, and it really depends. I mean, we'll see what the chatter brews up on in regards to Boston, and by the time we get into team by team analysis, we should have hopefully some more scoop on what's going on with Boston and particularly Rondo, because I know a lot of people are saying that climbing right now is Peyton, from UL Monroe, Raging Cajun. But I don't think that they pick Elfrid Payton. First off, it's a 6th pick in the draft. That's too high for him to go, and I don't see them going with him in the 17th pick either. Because I look at it as, why would they pass up on Smart when Smart is clearly a better player than Elfrid Payton is? The thing with Smart is, if you keep Rondo, you can slide him to the 2 guard spot, and he'll work fine. Or as well, you trade Rondo and get other pieces. You're fine because then he can slide to the point guard spot. Also, I mean, you're losing. You might lose Avery Bradley. I don't think that Bradley will sign elsewhere, but you never know. Last off season was kind of crazy in terms of a few teams stepping in and, in my opinion, offering contracts out of spite that now they have to live with. Houston Rockets. So between Bradley and Jared Bayless, that's 2 people right there that are point guard slash shooting guards. So I don't think they're going to end up getting both of them back. I think that they might lose one. If I had to call it, I would say maybe Bayless. I think that Avery Bradley's been around so long, he's core. And he can help with, the new direction that they might go in. Next pick, Lakers, is tough. it's tough because of a few things. You still have Kobe, so you want to draft somebody that can work with Kobe, that Kobe's going to respect and will be able to build for years to come. Because the whole thing is you don't want to get the wrong player and he clashes with Kobe and Kobe basically, ruins his confidence and then you've got a number 7 pick that you've used and it's a waste. The player ends up becoming a bust. As well, Kobe's not into flat out rebuilding. Kobe's trying to win now. Does their team look like they could win now? No. Um, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about the Lakers in general, and also, I mean, we'll get into free agents. So we'll talk about who's going to be free agents and where they should go. What's their best fits? Because they only have 3 people on guaranteed contracts, and that's Kobe, Robert Sacre, which he was from, I believe he was St. Mary's. He's a center, younger guy, not too young, but younger. And Steve Nash, who Nash pretty much has fallen apart since he left Phoenix, and he doesn't have much left in the tank. He's playing because he has the contract on the table, and none of us blame him for doing that, because who's going to leave that kind of money on the table, right? So, knowing that, and they had a bunch of guards they got at the end of the year. I mean, it was absurd. I mean, they had so many guards. It's just crazy. So I don't think that they need to go with a guard. A guard I don't think that Kobe would respect. I think that a big man, I mean, I think that, Pau Gasol, based on the fact that, I mean, they've lost. They're not really focused on building around Kobe per se. It's weird, and I definitely feel that Pau Gasol is going to leave. With Pau Gasol leaving, I think that they need to go big, and the big that I think they go with is Aaron Gordon from Arizona. I look at him as a smoother version of Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin is power, sheer athleticism, and they're working on his basics in terms of his, attack, dribbling wise, his jump shot. I mean, it's a very ugly looking jump shot, but it's getting there. I mean, he's able to use a lot, and he was almost a contender for MVP. He was on the ballot for MVP, and I mean, he's playing better. He's progressing year over year. I see Aaron Gordon as a more smoother because I mean, he can shoot out to 3-point range. As well, he's a hustler. So he's going to hustle. He has athleticism. I think that he's a better fit for depending on how long Kobe's around. And then in the next few years, then they can focus on maybe getting a point guard. We'll see how this year plays out for them, but I have them going with Aaron Gordon. Next pick, Sacramento. Sacramento, I always think that when you have a lottery pick, you go for who can potentially be a starter on your team, not extra players, unless you're trying to pull like a Thunder situation where you draft a guy with the intent of him possibly being like a 6th man. So in that case, I go with Noah Vonleh. I mean, he's very hyped. I'm not big on really players that are very hyped, but I mean, at 6'10", 7'4" wingspan, I mean, he's going to learn, and at worst, he would be tradable. They have a lot of power forwards, so I think everything else is shored up. You know who your center is. That's DeMarcus Cousins. Your point guard right now is Isaiah Thomas. I don't see the sensibility in going after another point guard when you have a point guard producing at a high level. So they can always utilize a later pick and go after a point guard to back up Isaiah Thomas, because I don't really see a solid backup just yet. And then from there, I mean, your 2 guard is going to be Ben McLemore. You drafted him high enough. You expect that out of him. And so he's your 2 guard of the future, Rudy Gay. Hopefully they can re-sign him. I mean, I don't see where else is going to really want what Rudy Gay does. Sacramento Kings wanted him, so stay there. Charlotte, the Hornets. Hornets is back in business. Thank goodness, because the Bobcat name sucked. Sorry, Mr. Johnson. I know that, you wanted to have a whole new thing when you bought them, but it sucked. And this year we'll